But John Balliol had a problem. Edward I. Edward I was one of the most powerful kings in Europe, and he basically controlled Scotland through King John. And that gave everybody a problem, not least of which was John. Ultimately, it gave John such a problem that he went into battle with the English. But it wasn't for long, and at Dunbar there was a major defeat, and Edward effectively took control of Scotland. Edward would control Scotland through the appointment of two men. The Earl of Surrey became the Governor of Scotland. He was John de Warenne, and as Treasurer of Scotland he appointed Hugh de Cressingham. On the 11th of September 1297 went into battle with William Wallace and Andrew Murray. The story goes that Hugh de Cressingham, the Treasurer of Scotland who'd been appointed by Edward, decided to cross here, or near here, over the medieval wooden bridge, rather than go further upstream and just go across one of the fords. And that was to be their downfall. Wallace simply waited until about half the English troops were across and then made their attack. With the English forces split, half on the south of the river under the command of Surrey and half on the north under the command of Cressingham, Wallace's men attacked, pushing the Welsh and English forces back into the river, suffocating and drowning the horses and the men as they pushed and harried them back. It must have been a hell of a sight. Cressingham himself was killed and his skin was peeled from his body and sold as souvenirs. Andrew Murray, William Wallace's right-hand man, was fatally wounded at the Battle of Stirling Bridge, and it was believed to be his tactical skills at Stirling which actually secured the victory.
After the battle, an English monk concluded his horrified account: there was indeed no better place in all the land to deliver the English into the hands of the Scots, or so many into the power of so few. The monument to this great Scottish hero is one of Stirling's proudest landmarks. But the fruits of victory were short-lived. Stirling Castle was recaptured. Wallace was betrayed, regaining Scotland.
You can see why this is so imposing. It's Stirling Castle, and there's where the initial skirmishes occurred, the English were trying to fortify their position at Stirling Castle, and Robert would not permit it. And it was that victory which ultimately led to the treaty which made Scotland a nation. 1314. And the only surviving member of the 1314, Brent the Bruce.
We went and rescued Lady Amy from the tower. She's back with us again.
May 24th, 1314. This was the battle between Robert the Bruce and Edward II, won by Robert the Bruce against unbelievable odds.
21 odds. He had 6,000 men. They had over 21,000.
Which led to
freedom. Freedom. They fight to only for freedom. They fight not for glory, nor for wealth, nor honor, but
fight not for glory, nor for wealth, nor honor, but only and alone we fight for freedom which no good man surrenders but with his life.
In 1306, the Abbey Church and School, Robert Bruce, Earl of Carrick, is crowned King of Scots. Only 6 weeks before, in another church, he had killed John Cummin, Earl of Badenoch, a rival to the throne. First, in 1307, Bruce's campaign slowly gains momentum. He applies hit-and-run tactics and avoids pitched battles. Castle after castle is captured from the English, then demolished. The remaining supporters of the dead comet are defeated. A strong position astride the approach road to the castle. One flank is protected by thick woodlands, and the other by the Bannock Burn and the low-lying marshes of the River Foe. The army is made up of 4 divisions, each of about 1,500 foot soldiers, led by the Earl of Murray, James Douglas, Edward Bruce, and King Robert himself. Every foot soldier is armed with a 12-foot iron-tipped spear, sword and axe. Many drowned in the Bannock Burn and the waters of the River Foe. Against all odds, the Scots have won the day, and Bruce is now established as the undisputed king. A nation that is to affirm its independence 6 years later in the famous Declaration of Arbroath. As long as 100 of us remain, we shall never be subject to English dominion. Because it is not for glory or riches or honour that we fight, but for freedom alone, which no worthy man loses but with his life.
Stirling Castle was a favoured royal residence. When the court was here, Stirling was the nation's capital. Trade and craft, culture and civic life flourished.
Building here in all of Edinburgh. Terrific. Hey.
This is irrelevant information.
Ticket holders of the building, please now assemble at the western doors as the tour is about to leave, and tickets today.
The British and Scots Civil War spot. This is their Gettysburg, Culloden.
Hey,